You know, there's really something special about recording a Banlist predictions video. You get to know that when you're recording this video, there are people who are watching it simply for the sake of disagreeing with you. It's kind of funny, really. Anyways, guys, you're watching Team APS, and in today's video, as you guessed, I'm going to be giving my April 2015 Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Unlimited list predictions. So let's go ahead and preface this by saying these are just my opinions. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh! Feel free to respectfully disagree in the comments, but I am going to try to explain everything that I say, and I don't think anything I'm saying is crazy or outlandish. Now, I'm going to basically divide this up into major decks that might need to get hit, floodgates, the return of a, ban card because that's a trend now, and then random stragglers. All right, let's get started. Shaddolls. Don't think it needs to get hit. People probably would agree with me. It's not really popular right now. It's not really a major threat, but because Konami is sometimes behind the times and they hit things a bit later than like maybe they're supposed to get hit, or just because Shaddolls are a bit old and Konami kind of likes to creep out the old and like let in the new, Shaddolls may very well get hit anyway. And if they did, the only thing I could really think of was Winda to 1. I think something similar happened in the OCG, that or was Construct, I'm not sure. But Winda is pretty much the only Shaddol card that I think would get hit. And if Winda got hit to 1, it wouldn't affect the core Shaddol strategy. All of the Shaddol monsters are still intact, they can all get their effects. But with Winda at 1, it means that lower tier decks that always suffered from, Winda, because Winda drops and a lot of low tier decks just can't get around it without special summoning it, since they can't be destroyed, But if you put Winda to 1, that means 1 deep prison, 1 bottomless. Your Winda problem's kind of over. That's something that makes the deck a lot less overbearing for low tier decks, but still works as a deck. And they're still getting, the 1 more water fusion, so it's not like Shaddolls will be completely off the map. And if Star Ceres ever come out, then they'll still be a deck, but maybe Winda going to 1 was what I was thinking. The only other possibility would possibly be Mathematician to 1 or something like that, because Mathematician is sort of their free, just get your combo started card, get your, things going. You can just pitch any Shaddol and get its effect. I don't think that'll happen. I don't think it should happen, but if Winda didn't get hit, that's the only other thing I could think of. Even then, there's always Armageddon Knight. Next is the Teller Knight. I think that if it does get hit, it'll be, again, just because it's a bit older, it's from Duelist Alliance, and Konami will be trying to get stuff out of the way. If it did, Altair is probably the target. Would make sense because, Abyss Gun and Wolfbart both got hit when, and they're like the sort of re-special summoners. And if you hit Deneb, it doesn't really matter because it only takes like 1 Deneb. Once 1 Deneb's been resolved, it's just gonna get spammed and reused. 1 bottomless, 1 deep prison, and Altair is pretty much out of the deal. The only other possibility is like maybe Call the Haunted to 1, so they have to use the somewhat inferior Oasis of Dragon Souls. Just possibilities. Next is Burning Abyss, a deck that I'm not a huge fan of. I think, like the other two, it's kind of old. Konami's probably sick of seeing it just hang around, and if they want to introduce new things, BA's probably got to go. Take any 2 monsters in the Burning Abyss strategy and limit them, and the deck is done skis. So that can mean Tour Guide and Dante, that can mean Tour Guide and any given BA monster, that can mean Dante and any given BA monster. If you catch my drift, basically, you could limit Seer and Graph. The deck would be like not really viable. You could limit Tour Guide and Graph, Garm and Seer, Dante and Graph. Like any sort of combination of those core cards in the BA strategy getting limited would really just shut it down entirely. And that might be a bit harsh, like maybe just putting these things to 2. Now the thing is, Tour Guide's been on the list and back again, so I don't think that Tour Guide will really be their target. And really just putting Dante to 1 would slow that deck down quite a bit, because resolving multiple Dantes is what makes it extremely scary. And some people say Fire Lake, so that's also a possibility too. Next we've got Qli. Qli is pretty new. It came out after those first 3 decks, so I don't think it's as likely to get hit. If it did, people are always saying like Qliphort Scout to 1. I think that Qliphort Scout probably actually won't go to 1. I think that the best we could hope for is maybe like Summoner's Art to 1, which doesn't even hurt the deck drastically, but it's maybe just enough. I don't know. Qli's just new, and I don't feel like Konami's gonna want to hit it quite yet. Next up is Heroes. I don't like Heroes. I feel like the deck's kind of gotten a little bit brain dead, where it's just, Dark Mist, Dark Law, like Acid Turbo. It gets really annoying. It doesn't even feel like Heroes anymore to me. But I don't think that anything in the deck's gonna get hit. It's just too new. The Hero Strike structure just released a little over a month ago, and I don't feel like Konami would want to hit anything that soon. Obviously, Shadow Mist is just like a new card. Like it's much too early for that to get hit. And Dark Law and Acid, I don't really think that they're going anywhere. Some people say like something like Bubble Man. That's rough. I mean, Bubble Man itself isn't a broken card or anything. No, I think they're gonna stick around. So for the elephant elephant in the room, Nekroz. They're very new too. I don't think that they're getting hit, but I do think that there's a possibility of their support cards getting hit. That can mean Senju or Manju going to 1, preferably Manju, I guess. It's just the more flexible one. Possibly Preparation of Right. So Senju or Manju could go to 1, Preparation could go to like 1 or 2. There's also like Nekroz of Unicorn, the OCG had that put to 1. And that card is a really troubling card. It kind of reminds me of things like Winda, things like Darklaw. Especially if Konami gets sick of the whole like Nekroz gen lock that's making certain players cheat. I don't think it's gonna be like the deck that gets hit, but I think there's a possibility that like Preparation or Manju could get hit. As for Floodgates, I do think Vanities will probably go to 1. The only reason I even say that is because it just got so largely reprinted. Although I agree that it's a healthy card for the game sometimes, it helps to like keep some of those top tier decks in check and just stop them from going absolutely crazy. I think it'll go to 1 though, because whenever Konami makes a card that easily available, it usually just, they're usually just about to take the swing. No other Floodgates I think really deserve to get hit. I mean, obviously Mistake is a really good, healthy counter. Maybe like Skill Drain at the very worst. Skill Drain is a pretty annoying card and it's gotten more prevalent lately. So there's like a chance of it going to like 1 or 2. There are cards that people think could get unbanned. The usual suspects like Zen Mighty and Dragon Ravine. There are also the errated cards like Crush and CD and stuff that the OCG got. If we're really getting Crush in Gold Series, which it's confirmed now, we'll probably get the other errated ban cards, maybe not all in Gold Series at once, but probably over time. So I feel like they'll all be coming off the ban list rather soon. The bigger question though is what long ban card will we be getting back? Because now that we've gotten like Raigeki and Snatch Steal and all this stuff, there's this sort of trend of just getting long ban cards back. And some people are saying Monster Reborn, some people are saying like Heavy Storm or Feather Duster. Feather Duster is in fact sort of a more balanced card than Heavy Storm these days. Like Heavy Storm can be abused by Pendulum decks, but I'd probably rather see Heavy Storm back because I think that Feather Duster is just a bit extreme. But you guys can have fun with this one, because it just, you know, this is your imagination, and any ban card could come back, and the power creep's gotten so bad that very few ban cards would be truly devastating to the game except for, you know, the obvious handful. And I'm going to lead off with a few, I've got them written down, random little cards that have been hanging around the list that I think could move around. Most of these are just going from like 2 to 3 or 1 to 2. We've got Goyo to 3, no one's using it at 2. Honest to 3. I thought it was gonna be a problem at 2. It's not even an issue. It could go to 3. Satonite build, not even all of them use it. Drag to 3. No one uses Tragodia. Hermetic Seal of Convocation. I mean, come on. We have 3 Rotas and like all this stuff. 3 Smoke Signals, 3 E-Calls, 3 Summoner's Art. It'll be fine. Bestie to 2, since apparently somebody at Konami doesn't want Bestie at 3, so I don't know, move it to 2. Maybe that's a little bit easier. Rescue Rabbit, I think, could come to 2. Help those normal decks. Dino Rabbit won't be back. Lagia can't deal with today's power creep. Sorry, that's just how it is. Injector Hornet could come to 2, I think. Spellbook of Fate could come to 2. Since I get like massacred whenever I say Spellbook of Judgment, it's just a card. Spellbooks aren't doing anything. And maybe possibly Torrential Tribute to 2, because, you know, it's been a 2 before. Then it got put to 1, but maybe it can come back to 2 to sort of help tame the craziness of like pendulums and have sort of one more card you can actually activate when something like Trish gets summoned as opposed to Deep Prison and Mirror Force. And that concludes my ban list predictions. I tried to speak as fast as I possibly could so as to keep this video somewhat short. Please remember to be respectful in the comments and discuss. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I know it's ban list predictions. It's like a freaking presidential election, all sorts of opinions, things, you know, people bring out their claws, but just be respectful in the comments. Don't bash anyone. Feel free to respectfully disagree with me. It's perfectly fine. Hopefully we'll learn the ban list pretty soon, and I'm sure you'll see other videos from other people, so have fun down there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.